a lot of people, sea of heads, but nothing close to chaotic. It's amazing that people are still willing to fly. People are trooping out to this departure wing of the Nnamadi Azikiwe Airport, to fly. I mean, yes, we heard there was some kind of chaos in the morning, but as at the time we got here, things were pretty much the same way it is right now. Loads and loads of people willing to fly. Now, even with the fact that, the flight fares have witnessed like a 65% increase, you just realize that Nigerians are still willing to fly. I mean, they prefer to fly than taking the roads. So people are here willing to fly. There's been no cancellation of flights as where people would suppose, especially following what had happened yesterday, where we realized that there was some kind of scarcity in getting of aviation fuel. But today, the FAN authorities or officials of FAN who spoke to us say that there's some kind of relief. There's somewhat of more availability of aviation fuel today. So most of the airlines who are scheduled to fly are actually taking off right on time as at when they are supposed to take their flights.
Okay, well, that's a good improvement, because we understand that there's a big stakeholders meeting that's supposed to be taking place today with members of the, you mentioned FAN, I think the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Group Managing Director of NNPC, and all these other stakeholders. So because it's still morning, I mean, there's going to be flights in the afternoon and flights in the evening, and that's where things kind of get sticky. I'm not sure how long you're going to be at the airport, but so far, just once again to confirm to viewers, for the morning flights, and we're only about 8 minutes till 12 noon when you get into the afternoon schedules. So far, for morning flights, no cancellations, no halting, everybody's been flying as scheduled.
Yes, I can say categorically from the information that we've gathered at this airport, there have been no cancellations, not exactly any kind of delay. Nigerians who are supposed to be taking or traveling by air are traveling. They do not seem to be in any way fazed by the increase in the airfares. I mean, what matters to them is if there's a flight available, let me just fly. And speaking about passengers who are still willing to fly, I'm actually being joined now by one of the passengers who had actually shared his experience with me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I mean, how are you coping with having to travel, especially when there is an increase?
The increase in airfare it's terrible. I won't lie to you. It makes it harder for you to. In fact, if you want to do anything. Like me now, what I do is I fly in regions. Like if I'm going to this eastern area, take a flight to the east and make sure that all the things I'm doing is going to be in the east. So I'll go from there to another place and everything, finish up there, then fly back to another region. If I'm doing something in Lagos, Kaduna and all this thing, I'll land in, Kaduna, Kano and all this, I'll land in Abuja, do all my movements. Though it's not safe, that's why most people prefer flying to every single location they're going to. But what can we do? It's getting too costly. It's two locations. The least you can spend is 100,000. That's enough to start off a business. You understand? It's crazy, but it's what can we do?
All right, thank you so much. Now, I mean, that is just the opinion of one passenger who, yes, it's expensive, but he's still willing to fly. It's the same thing for every person who has shown up at this airport today, willing to take the flight. I mean, the fact that the roads are not exactly safe can explain the reason Nigerian passengers who can afford to take the air are actually here in their numbers. Like we actually already had established, it's still 50,000 naira flat rate, no matter where it is you're going to. 50,000 naira flat rate. We recall that sometime last week, the FCCPC and the NCAA had actually had a meeting, and they had said to the airline operators to ensure that they get to revert to you know, the old prices. But I mean, we're hoping that with all of the conversations that they're going to be having, you know, today at the National Assembly, some kind of relief may come to the passengers.
All right, Mary Chinda, Arise correspondent live in the Nnamadi Azikiwe Airport in the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja. Thank you so much for giving us the latest on the flight situation with the jet fuel scarcity.